Kia ora guys, welcome to StudyTime's Level 2 strategy video for oral or visual text. I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Jacinda Ardad.
And we're going to be giving you all the tips you need to help you get through the standard.
Yeah, so if you haven't already checked out our Level 2 written text strategy video, I recommend you do that because a lot of the structural and stylistic parts of essay writing remain the exact same. Here we'll go into a lot more detail about how to actually analyze those films.
So visual text at level 2 is basically taking a film and analysing it. And what this means is using evidence in the form of aspects to make an argument.
Yeah, so aspects include director's purpose, intended audiences, narrative structure, settings, characters, themes, and language features of visual text. Yeah, so language features of visual text cover the same broad language features of written text, so things like metaphors, symbolism, that kind of stuff. However, it also includes things like cinematography or camera angles and stuff like that. Why are these called language features of visual text? I don't know. It's something to do with how film is a language, but I don't get it either.
So some language features can include cinematography, mise-en-scene, editing, sound, lighting, and performances. And when we analyse, what we're doing is taking evidence in the form of aspects and interpreting it to answer our question.
Yeah, and to get excellence, you need to do that perceptively, which involves showing insight and originality. That's all well and good, but how do you actually do that? It's a great question. We'll get into do that now. So a lot of the techniques about writing an essay that'll knock your marker's stockings off are the same as written text. However, the analysis is kind of different because it's a film now. The most important thing to remember is that your essay is persuasive, not informative. You're not telling the marker what Pan's Labyrinth is about because they already know it's wild. You're persuading them that the idea that you've got is backed up and really solid.
As such, your essay is going to be thesis-based, where specific aspects of your text are used as evidence to support your point. Now, an example of a thesis could be, in Schindler's List, colour is used as a stark contrast to reinforce hope and war by highlighting the beauty of life. So, when we're making our thesis, we want to be specific and show how and why the point that we're making contributes to the idea, the question that we've been given. Now, in last year's marking schedule, markers consistently said that those who got excellence had a strong thesis throughout, and this means that they referred to it throughout all the time to prove the point that they're making. Now, lastly, what we want to be doing is being insightful and perceptive in the thesis that we're making and the points and the evidence that we're using to show this.
So insight refers to being able to point below the surface of the text accurately at deep underlying perceptive ideas, what the director was trying to convey. A perceptive idea is one that relates to society, the human condition, or wider literature. If you want more on that, check out the written text strategy video. So it's really important that when we're talking about perceptive yarns about society or whatever, we're linking it in with the director's purpose, because a huge part of visual text is the director-audience relationship, or the relationship between the director and the audience, regarding how well the director is conveying the ideas or what the effect is having on the audience. And this is really critical because a part of excellence is appreciation of the director's craft. What that means is how well the director was able to convey his messages through aspects of visual text. So for example, you might say, in Schindler's List, Steven Spielberg used colour as a means of reinforcing the idea of hope within the audience through a very clear visual cue. And what I've done is I've explained it through how and why and whatever. I might say because the director wanted hope to be a prominent theme in order to shape our understanding of ourselves and whatever. And I've said how and why the director is doing this, and also said that's coming across strongly to the audience.
It also means that it's a great idea to make your essay as unique as possible. If your interpretation of colour in Schindler's List is different to what we've already been discussing and you've got the evidence to back that up, you can 100% go with this. There is no right or wrong way to interpret a text, and as long as you have the proof to back up what you're saying, it's absolutely fine. If you think something has been done purposely by the director, you're probably right. In last year's NCEA assessment schedule, a lot of markers said that those who got excellence often had their own unique take of techniques and explored multiple interpretations of this as well.
Okay, so let's get into the big difference between written visual text, which is the actual analysis of the film itself. So aspects of visual text can be split into two categories. One is the ideas and purposes, so the same abstract yarns about symbolism and themes and stuff as written text. The other is language features of visual text, otherwise known as film techniques. And because you're studying film, you need to be including this in your analysis. It's crucial that we don't just chuck a camera angle in and hope that the marker froths it. You're not going to get any ease by saying, oh, a theme in The Great Gatsby is hope, and like, here's a mid shot. You need to, if you're including mid shots, you need to actually explain how it's a technical choice made by the director in order to improve some aspect of the director-audience relationship. You know, what effect has it had on the audience, and you know, how does it improve how the director is conveying his message. So you don't need to go into analyzing the nuances of every technical camera angle, but you do need to always be bringing it back to the director's purpose. So this has been understanding visual text at level 2. So everything comes back to your thesis, and you need to make sure you're consistently proving that using how and why.
So aspects of your text come in the form of your evidence, and you want to be analysing this evidence to show the director-audience relationship.
Yeah, and so make sure you're bringing in visual text language features specifically, and then coming up with original and insightful interpretations. If you think that there's some way you can link it with society, chances are you probably can, because isn't that what film's all about?
You want to be showing appreciation for your text and the effects of it, or even you can critique it.
Yeah, and the best way to study for English is to watch YouTube videos on your text and practice writing essays. Cool.
Thanks, guys.